Running for a full week, attracting 600,000 spectators and 10,000 aircraft, AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin is the world's biggest air show. In this video, we look back at the highlights of the AirVenture 2017 flying displays. On the week of AirVenture, Oshkosh becomes the busiest airport in the world, with over 100 aircraft movements per hour on average. The arriving aircraft are a spectacle in their own right, with huge formations of T-6s, T-34s and other such types arriving in unison as part of the daily aerial displays. The show also attracts the biggest names in aerobatics, the likes of Skip Stewart, seen here performing in his highly modified Pitts S2S. Jerry Kirby performing a rather more sedate routine in his Vans RV-8A. And Philip Steinbach in his Gamebird GB1. Not to be shown up, the US Air Force typically also contribute to the show. Here, the US Air Force Heritage Flight, with an F-35A Lightning II, A-10 Thunderbolt II, and 2 P-51 Mustangs. The A-10 Heritage Flight appeared for the first time this year after it was disbanded, almost 5 years previously. Here, a missing man formation to acclaimed Heritage Flight pilot Vlado Lenoch, who tragically passed away in an accident shortly before AirVenture 2017. NASA also provided a heritage flight of sorts. One of their T-38 Talons flew briefly with a P-63 King Cobra from the Commemorative Air Force Dixie Wing. In fact, there were no fewer than 3 King Cobras at the show, and all 3 made a rare joint flypast during the Warbird segment. Classic jets were represented in a similar segment on Thursday. Leading are 3 F-86 Sabres. Also flying a MiG-17 Fresco, TA-4 Skyhawk, Dassault Dornier Alpha Jet, 2 L-39 Albatrosses and a pair of T-33 Shooting Stars. With the F-86 making its first flight in 1947 and the L-39 still in production today, the segment brought together 7 decades of aviation history and designs representing 4 countries. A further eclectic selection of vintage aircraft came together to pay tribute to the late airshow legend Bob Hoover, who died in October 2016. An Aero Commander leads the formation, flanked by a P-51D Mustang, T-28 Trojan and F-86 Sabre. The Saturday of Oshkosh was Bomber Day, a day that will go down in history as one of Oshkosh's finest.
Other. The middle one is stealth. The one on our side is a swing wing. The one on the far side has 8 engines. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Northrop. It is Rockwell. It is Boeing.
As well as the USAF's contemporary bomber fleet, Oshkosh featured both of the world's flying B-29s, Fifi and Doc, the latter returning to flight only last year. It was their first ever air show together.
Things changed over the years. As the twin 29 came in, they were production. Well down, 731 were built.
Aircraft representing all 3 of the US strategic bombers took part. The unique and ghostly B-2A Spirit, of which only 21 were built, was a rare and memorable sight. Then came the B-52h Stratofortress, which, by the time it is retired, will have been in USAF service for at least 85 years.
Next to him is Lieutenant Kevin Abbott from Austin, Texas.
Military inventory item.
Finally, the swing-wing B-1B Lancer, earlier variants of which could reach an incredible top speed of Mach 2.2. Then a sight that may never be repeated. A missing man formation carried out by 2 B-25s and 2 B-29s. Oshkosh is a show of variety, if nothing else. Nowhere else on Earth can you see 2 B-29s, the Proteus high-altitude research platform, the graceful Falcon 8X, and the mighty F-22A Raptor flying at the same event. Oshkosh is also a show of contrast. The barnstorming fun of Kyle Franklin's stolen Piper Cub routine could hardly be more different to the power and precision of the show's headliners, the Blue Angels. The Blue Angels have visited Oshkosh in the past, but due to airspace limitations they'd never previously been allowed to fly a full show. Since then, the organisers have negotiated a bigger aerobatic box, which has allowed them to host all 3 North American military jet aerobatic teams since 2014, although the crowd line does need to be moved backwards when they perform.
Fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angels, Delta to breakout.
In addition to the daytime shows, Oshkosh also features Dusk Air Displays. On Wednesday, this included a set piece involving no fewer than 11 B-25 Mitchells in a tribute to the Doolittle raid on Tokyo in April 1942, the first air operation against the Japanese archipelago. Bringing the action right up to date, a pair of A-10 Warthogs from the Indiana Air National Guard demonstrated the modern-day equivalent. But if there was one lasting image of Oshkosh 2017, it may well be this, the jaw-dropping twilight display of a B-1B Lancer, complete with copious vapour. AirVenture 2017 was truly one of the best iterations of the event in recent memory, and anticipation is running high for next year's show. If you can't wait until then and you liked what you saw here, there are dozens of videos of individual displays at the event on the Airshow Stuff Videos YouTube channel. But that concludes our look at AirVenture 2017.